Every once in a while, a movie comes along that's more than a movie. It's a film. Every frame is eye candy, and at the end, you're left with a feeling. The feeling of something raw and real. Maybe it's a superhero movie that makes you feel invincible. Maybe it's a comedy that made you laugh so hard your side hurts. Suburban Sasquatch is not one of those movies. All I need to show you is this one image to set the mood for the film. This is micro budget. Came out in 2004 and the actors seem like just a group of friends. But those movies can at least have passion in them. It takes a lot of work to make a movie, especially with no budget. I certainly can't do it, and if I did, it wouldn't be worth watching. So, is Suburban Sasquatch worth watching? It starts out like most creature features, nameless people getting killed. This time, this couple are going to a party out in the woods, and they hit Sasquatch with their car. He attacks them, and limbs go flying. They can't be serious with this, right? Between the fake arms and weird growls, I mean, this has to be a comedy, right? Well, now we have two cops who show up at the scene of the crime, Steve and John. Steve calls his friend Rick, who's a reporter, and just needs to get his big break. And this story could be it. But John doesn't want anyone out there messing with the crime scene, so he kicks him out. Rick goes back to the newspaper office, which is clearly a school, with kids practicing football in the background. He tries to convince his boss to let him write a story about the murders and how the cops are covering it up. But his boss says that won't sell papers, and that's the only story he's interested in. After a little back and forth, he decides to give Rick one last chance. If he messes this up, he's fired. So the stakes are pretty high, but he still thinks it's just a serial killer and not a bloodthirsty ape. Bigfoot's going around killing people left and right, and you think he's going to kill this kid, but his mom comes out to fight him with a broom. Bigfoot stands on a step stool and attacks her. Obviously, I'm joking here, but at least they tried to make it look like an 8-foot tall ape in the woods. Most movies just say it's a giant, but really the guy in the suit is barely over 6 foot. In the end, Bigfoot takes the lady back to his cave. Next, we meet Tala. She's on a vision quest, and part of her tribe's ritual involves hunting down and killing a Bigfoot. She uses a crow to find out where it is at any given time, and these special magic arrows that are the only thing that can kill the beast. More people are attacked, Tala shoots the creature, and it runs away. The cops come in, and Steve once again calls Rick. And once again, John kicks him out. But on his way out, he finds Tala's magic arrowhead. Confused, he goes to his grandma for some guidance. She's real helpful.
Well, I'd say it's odd.
Eventually, she tells him to go back to where he found the arrowhead. Then, she tells him she doesn't like him.
Remember, I don't like you.
Rick goes back to the parking lot and wonders if he should just give up. Then, Steve calls him again to tell him of another possible attack close by. These two ladies are being chased by the beast in their car. Bigfoot materializes on top of the car and attacks. They wreck and make a run for it. Tala once again shoots it, and Rick gets to watch this all unfold. Now Rick and Tala meet. She tells him about her quest and how her ancestors fought these creatures for hundreds of years. For some reason, even though he just watched all this happen, he doesn't believe her. But for the sake of his story, he decides to tag along. John now finally opens up about his past and why he wants to keep all this a secret. He used to live across the country, happy with his wife. Life was good until one day when Bigfoot phases into your yard, kills your girl, and leaves you broken. He had to move away from it all and start over. He didn't think the beast would follow him here. Tala explains to Rick that Bigfoot has supernatural abilities, and that's why it can disappear. She also tells him that she wishes she could live a normal life, have a family, and go to work, but she just can't. This is bigger than her, and she must continue to fight like her ancestors did. They start to get the hots for each other, but then the beast appears and attacks and takes Tala. He takes her back to his trash bag cave and ties her along with another girl. Rick shows up to save her, but he has a hard time untying her.
Yeah, but who would have thought he could make such good knots?
They escape with the creature right on their tail. They fight it a little bit, and... wait, I'm sorry, I gotta pause here for a minute. What kind of effect is that? They tried to make Bigfoot taller by extending his body? It's such a weird effect. Why did they do that? Anyway, Tala again shoots it, and he runs away. Back at camp, Tala heals Rick, and she tells him of a vision she had of him and an older lady, his grandma. He runs to his grandma's house and gets there just in time. Sasquatch is about to kill her when Tala stops it. The beast overpowers her, and it's up to Rick to save the day. He has to fire an arrow into its heart. That's the only way to kill it. He takes the shot, and bullseye, finally killing the creature. But at what cost? Because Tala is pretty messed up. Rick takes her back to the camp and uses some magic powder to save her. She gets a sign that another Sasquatch is out there, and she must go, continue what she is meant to do. Rick begs her to stay, to live with him and be happy, but she has to go. In the end, Rick decides to join her in her hunt. Every decent Bigfoot movie follows the same formula. Show a little bit of the story, then once that starts to get boring, throw in a kill here or there. Suburban Sasquatch does that. We meet the main characters, then boom, a guy's killed. We see Tala and learn of her quest, then the next thing you know, Bigfoot's ripping a stuffed dog in two. I'm gonna be honest here. There's nothing that awful about the writing of this movie. It's just everything else. The budget was $12,000, and even that's kinda surprising. I would have thought it was $20 and a pizza. This is friends coming together to have a good time and make a movie. In fact, I'm 100% sure the end credits song is just the grandma singing. They knew this wouldn't be in theaters. Heck, I bet they'd be happy to hear it's even being talked about on YouTube. So I can cut most of the movie some slack. Except that suit. Why did it have to have boobs? Just why? Use your standard monkey costume. That would have worked a lot better. Maybe they were trying to be funny, but the rest of the movie takes itself pretty seriously. I just don't get it. Suburban Sasquatch falls into the micro-budget, so bad it's good category. If you have a group of friends over one night, have some beers and stream this movie. It should be a hit. I give it 1.5 big boobed Sasquatches out of 4. Okay, hear me out on this one. Suburban Sasquatch 2. Yeah, it could work. Open it up with some people being chased by the creature in the woods. But this time, no boobs. A portal opens up and Tala and Rick pop out. But now they're all ripped and covered in scars from years of battling these things. Rick throws a tomahawk and Talus shoots an arrow right into his heart, stopping the beast instantly. In its last dying breath, it whispers, "Run." Then we see a dog man in the distance. The two hunters have to team up with a tribe of Sasquatches to take down this newer, bigger threat. It could work.